Okay, guys, we are live. It is Monday night. We're going to have a lovely little chat about the Reds, and that's what we usually do. Myself and Spider in the green tonight. The Liverpool third kit. Wow, it looks so good, baby. Two legends in the house. Hit the like, hit the share. You know what to do, guys, at this stage. You know what to do. Get your comments in. Lovely little regurgitation of the Bournemouth debacle at the weekend. Forest number 2, Mark 2, actually. Losing 1-0 to Bournemouth. Then we look forward to Miracle on 54th Street Wednesday night. It's going to be huge. Is it possible? 5-2 down. Anything's possible when the Reds play, but it is going to be tough and it's not going to be easy. And to talk about it, it is Gary Lineker. Sorry, Jack Mac LFC in the house. His name is back. It's no more Anfield Road TV. It is Jack Mac LFC. That's the channel. Hit the like, hit the share, and Spider always on the web down below. Spider-Man himself. So, guys, how are you? Good?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I've run my ears are probably the size of Gary's anyway, so that's to start, really. But yeah, nice one for having me on, mate. And obviously, I did have you on my pre-match show, mate. And yeah, it's a massive game. Doesn't get any bigger, in all honesty, mate. But yeah,
European royalty battle royale, my friend. Battle royale. Yeah, we just did a video earlier on Jack Mac LFC channel, so check that out. Link will be down in the description and for Spider's channel as well. So give them a sub, show them your love. Spider, how are you? Good?
I'm good, lad. I'm good. Looking forward to the game, to be honest with you.
I mean, you'll be in Munich. You'll be in Munich enjoying a few nice German beers Wednesday night. A few Bayern Munich fans.
Yeah, I will be. You know, having to sit down with old Sadio Man after the crack. I'll get him off to the gig.
Barry Sweeney is in. A-Main is in. Mark Forrest, as usual, is in. Barry Sweeney, more torture Wednesday night. We're going to talk about Wednesday. We're going to spend the first 5 minutes regurgitating the Bournemouth. The cherries popped their cherry on Saturday. It was 12:30. We don't like 12:30. We don't like that weird psychedelic, Austin Powers away jersey. We just don't like the Austin Powers away jersey, guys.
Get rid.
1-0. It's gone. I never bought it. I never liked it. Just does not. I love that cream one that we beat United 5-0. That was beautiful. But guys, what the beep? I can't see. You know what I was going to say anymore because I'll get probably copyrighted. But we were a shambles. First 10-15 was we only showed up 75 minutes of that game. We didn't do enough. Salah missed a penalty. Yeah, Van Dijk had a header cleared off the line. Yeah, we'd 1 or 2 chances. But this is Bournemouth. They were bottom of the league at the time. We beat these 9-0. 9-0, equaling the Premier League record back in, September? Way back.
Yeah, very long time.
And we lose 1-0. I think the odds, I was looking at a thing today, for us to beat United 7-0 and to get beaten by Bournemouth 1-0, I think it was ridiculous. I think it was 700 or 800 to 1 or something like that. More. I think it was even 1,000 to 1. A double would have been about something like 7,000 or 8,000 to 1. Like in Bournemouth, something like 7 or 8 to 1.
The most Liverpool thing to do, isn't it, lads? And just it was. You're on cloud 9, as you've alluded to, mate, and it's just inconsistently. That's like the most frustrating thing for us all of us. I know for me is this season is just the inconsistent levels, and that's where obviously we'd bridged very much the gap, the 30-year gap in terms of Jurgen Klopp coming in, building consistency. It always used to be a thing for a very long time, even before Klopp, even Rafferton to a certain extent in the big games, where you'd win the big games, but obviously if you played the likes of Portsmouth, Wigan, or whoever, rocked up to Anfield, frustrated us, and it seems like that is very much crept and sept back into Liverpool's game this season. It's disappointing.
Yeah, look, it is. But I did say, and you know, guys, from listening and watching, we're going to get some pain. There's still a bit of pain to go through, I think, in this transition. There's going to be a bit more pain. I'm hoping there's more gain than pain. We could get pain Wednesday night. We could get a miracle bit of pain. Who knows? And the whole season kicks off. But I think there's still a bit of pain to come. I just think that the situation we're in, we're going to win games that we're not really expected to win. We're going to win crazy games. We're going to get results. The problem is we can't keep it going. I thought we turned the corner. I thought we turned over a new leaf. I thought we'd done, we basically got back to basics. Okay, we're not back to where we were last year, but the last 4 or 5 games pre-Bournemouth, I thought, Spider, that we were, ready to rock now, put a run together, get that top 4, let's go. And that Bournemouth game just dampened it, didn't it?
I think you're on mute, Della.
Sorry, lads. Yeah, muted away. I know, sorry. Kid was knocking on the door a second ago, and I had to mute, and I never mute myself. I'm always there going, yeah.
It's usually me that boys. You know me.
Yeah, that's usually a Jack move. But like, I'm not going to get too upset about the Bournemouth result, pretty much because we had 13 from 15 in the games before that. You know, we destroyed United the week before that. We got too cocky in our boots and just played. We didn't have enough emergency in the game. I felt even from the off, and I felt that they just thought they were going to win the game by just coasting along. Not a way to do it. These games creep up on you. I think it's lesson learned. Move on. They're going to have to put in a performance against Real Madrid. Whether we get the result that gets us to the next round, but I think like we at least need to go away there and beat them, and you know, at least on the night, and say, look, at least we beat them away from home. You know, it wasn't too much of a gap in the tie, and we gave ourselves a good show of it. Yeah, it's, you know, it was 13 from 15. I think we're still in a good place, but I think just old habits creeped in. Van Dijk probably had his poorest game I've seen him for a long time. Harvey was running around like a headless chicken, hence why he got taken off. You know, Kanata was overworked. He was covering Trent as well as covering Van Dijk and himself. Trent was just, it was that bad pass from Trent that because we started pretty brightly in the game and passing on a bit, and you know, the passing was great and the pivots were great, but then Trent made this awful pass into the centre that gave it away. And then one he just did slightly before that where he gave it to a fella, and it was like, oh no, don't start this stuff now, because it's putting the lads under pressure in front of him. They're already shouting, looking over at Trent, but Trent is doing this thing lately where he just kind of goes, you know, it happens, like, you know, but I'm like, it's happening too much, man. You know, it's coming to the stage where it's, defensively it's happening as much as Gomez's stuff is happening where you're giving away the ball, but he doesn't. But the thing is, he does enough going forward for us to be one of our elite players, you know. So I just look, my saying on him is that he needs to be moved into midfield now or 18 months ago. Not going to happen probably under Klopp, because Klopp rates him as the best left or right back in the world, according to him. But look, it's a blip. I think we forget about it, we move on. It's a different game against Real Madrid on Wednesday. You know, we're going to have
the big thing about the Real Madrid game is we don't play again until the 1st of April. There's like, you know, needing a 2-week break. I don't know whether that suits us or not. I don't think it does. I think we needed to get a league game in. I think even the weekend probably. Yeah. But it is what it is. We've got to work around it. When we come back, we've got City away. We've got Chelsea away. And Chelsea, you just don't know on the day with them. Hot or cold, City or City. And then we've got Arsenal going for the league at Anfield. But that's a different kettle of fish. But I just think, you know, it's one step forward, 2 steps back, Jack. You know what I mean, for Liverpool. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, if we could get a result, if we could get a miracle on 34th or 54th Street or 56th Street, whatever it's called on Wednesday night, we could somehow pull this one around. We need 3 goals from somewhere. We need 4 to win outright, 3 to get something out of the game. I mean, this would be up there. I mean, you'd have to say it'd be way up there. You know, it's got to give it a go. We got to give it a go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the confidence in it, lads. We've all said a lot of these players, first and foremost, as Spider alluded to, when you got Trent making the odd mistake, and obviously it seeps into your game, doesn't it? We've all played at a very low level. I know Kev much better than mine anyway, but it's even whatever level. Like once you do it once, it's like a pattern starts emerging within the game, and regardless if you're playing Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Bournemouth, it's a habit that really Liverpool have continuously got themselves into this year. It's disappointing, but it's, if we can, as you alluded to there, Dave, we can, even if we don't progress, but we get a 2-3-0 win away from home. Fundamentally, it would, for me, if I was in that changing room, I'd be like, sounds, we've got the result. We know our capabilities as a team. And I think certain moments this season we've all seen, as obviously Jurgen turns us into doubters, into believers. And I think a lot of these players fundamentally have been doubting themselves far too many times. It's all right always criticising them, but I think internally, we know something's happened, whatever that has. There's been a massive argument between them players or the management or whatever it is. I think they just need to start believing again themselves. But I think if we can do the unthinkable on Wednesday night, then I think it would very much be hopefully the catalyst really in terms of Liverpool's aspirations come what the end of May.
I think Mo Salah want to be wearing that T-shirt. I think the whole team squad should be wearing that. Never give up. T-shirt tandem on the coach. That'd be something else, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Walking through Anfield, but they never give up on the T-shirts. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's against another Spanish team, of course. It was Barcelona at Anfield, that miracle 4-0, 3-0 down, 4-0 win. That was ridiculous. That basically won us the Champions League, you must say, when we beat Spurs in the final in 2019.
Lovely.
But I mean, this is it. But this won't define our season, I don't think. I mean, even if we do lose or don't win or just don't qualify, we could win the game and not qualify. I want a performance on Wednesday. I want something out of the game, lads. I don't want to be beaten or badly beaten and then go into the break. Look, those 3 big games coming up with nothing in the tank. I want to get something out Wednesday if we don't qualify. I want to take something now. I want to get a performance, a draw, a win, something. A win would be great, even if you didn't qualify, even to get something back out of this tie from letting ourselves down so badly at Anfield. What do you think?
Yeah, go Kev.
Yeah, look, it's as Dave said, a performance is needed, and I think if you can put in an early performance and get the couple of goals ahead. I know we got complacent in the home game because we went a couple of goals up, but I can't compare the two because in that game we didn't have Ibu Konate in the back line either. We had Joe Gomez and we'd a weaker side in defensively and a guy that just doesn't seem to step out at set pieces. In there, and I've always been a big fan of Gomez, up until the Champions League season where we lost it against Real Madrid the first time around in 2018, and up until then he was nearly faultless that season with Van Dijk. He was brilliant, and then he got a couple of injuries of broken legs. He wasn't an injury prone player, but he got a couple of injuries, and then he came back, and he's never really gotten that ability to his ability is that he thinks too much when he's on a ball about things that he's not doing at that time. So if he's just after, I've always said it, if he's just after making a tackle and winning the ball, the thing he's thinking about is, that was a great tackle, I just put in the ball. Oh no, I just lost it. As he's going, he's still thinking about what he's just done, and that's what it seems like.
He's overthinking it. He's overthinking
everything. Yeah, he does the hard job, and then the easy job is just getting rid of it and clearing it. And then he makes a bad pass back, or it's too low, or he starts stepping backwards towards the goal. He loses possession, and then we're going to get. And that's the problem. He's just too. He's overthinking it a lot. But the performance is needed. Ibu, I think, will give us a great. I wouldn't be surprised if Ibu gets the first headed goal on Wednesday. From an early corner from us, and it will really give us a catalyst to kind of move on. It will make Madrid get a little bit complacent. The person that always watches Vinicius Jr. If he starts playing, then it's a worry, and this is where you need people like Henderson and Trent over on our right hand side to cover, which is why I don't think Elliott might start. If Elliott does start, I'd be very surprised, because that's just too much pressure, and unless he believes in Konate to cover Trent on that right hand side, but that's giving him an awful lot to do in the game again, just for the sake of Trent's inability to defend in the right back against a player like Vinicius Jr. So for me, he needs. As we know, lads, with the longest season in history last season of any other team, we've had a mental fatigue throughout the season, which is caused this physical fatigue. It's seeped through us into our core. There wasn't enough done in that break in the World Cup for formation changes, which should be done in the next couple of weeks, really, so that we can have something to grasp onto for the rest of the season if we're going to go forward. But look, Wednesday, we need to go there with a bit of heart, a bit of passion, play like the Irish do in the World Cup. We mightn't be the best team in the world in there, but man, we can get results when we need to get results. And that's and it's the same with Liverpool. That's why we're very similar, in heart and passion.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we used to. I mean, Liverpool, when they won the league and won European Cups, we played the same. It wasn't about individuals. It's not about individuals. Even now, it's not. We can say Salah, we can say Van Dijk, Alisson and all, but it's not really. It's about the team. Even Mo Salah been interviewed last week when he broke the record, Robbie Fowler Premier League record, 129 goals. He did say, well, it's obviously you want to be winning games, but we all know deep down striker wants to score goals. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way they're made. That's why they're so good, and that's why they score so many bleeding goals. They want to do it. They want to do it in training. They want to do it when they're playing Sega with Naby Keita. That's what they want to do, and that's what they want to do all the time. So, and
I've been pleased with Salah's unselfishness this season with regards to him and Nunez and Gakpo. He's been fairly unselfish in comparison to previous seasons with Sadio, and he's been playing the ball. He could have turned inside and taken shots himself, but he hasn't. He's been trying to play it into position. So I can't give him much stick for that. I just think that sometimes Mo just needs to be slightly selfish and take a couple of shots when necessary and not just play it back. What I don't want to see us doing is getting pinned again out to the wings. So I want to see early crosses in from Trent if need be, and I literally want to see Gakpo and Nunes on the last man when Trent has that ball. I don't want to, and Robbo there to pick up and clean up. I don't want to see the part where Gakpo's still back. He's forcing him to play to Salah, who's trapped in the wing, and loses possession, and then we're on the counter attack again straight away. So I need when Trent is on that ball, then lads need to be in that box straight away.
Yeah, it's spot on there, Kevin, and we've all seen it. Like obviously with Courtois in the first goal, he crapped himself. Yeah. In reality, he didn't know what to do. I think, as Kev's alluded to, spot on. Like, we need to, on Wednesday night, try and be unpredictable. Do something that they're not used to in the La Liga. If you start pumping balls, say if you whack Nunes and Gakpo, big physical presences, they're not used to it. Like, obviously, Atletico Madrid probably in terms of the way Simeone likes to play, but typically he likes to play with nice players in and around the pitch as well. But I think if you just start pumping balls, like deep searching balls, get Trent, get Robbo, just do something that if you start forcing players into situations like Courtois, like Nacho or Militao, just pin them. Like, even if we need to play a 4-2-4, they might bypass our midfield, but it's just about getting that ball up the other ends of the pitch as quick as you possibly can. None of this sideways, backwards passing. Get it into the box, see what happens. If you need to shoot from the edge of the penalty area, just start doing That's what we done against Barcelona. I know it was years ago, but the
problem is
genuine Alden.
And the problem is, Jack, we'll need a 90+ minute. Now, obviously, if it goes extra time, it's different. But we will need a 90+ minutes performance, and we haven't done a 90+ minute performance much this season. You could maybe count it on one hand. I mean, you could say the City game, and City aren't at their 100% best, but we beat them when we were really good that day, 7-0 against United. But that was only really in the second half. That was only a second half performance, really. We've had one or two good performances in the Champions League, but have we really controlled games from minute 1 to minute 93, minute 94? I don't think we have, even against teams we've beaten. We've been lucky in odd time in games. So I think Wednesday night we're going to have to be tight. We're going to have to be clinical because we're not going to get a huge amount of chances, but we're certainly going to have to score first because, I mean, if they score, it's basically curtains. But if we can score first, it just puts doubts in their minds, puts doubts in their fans' minds. Who knows? Goals change games, and that's what I'm looking for Wednesday night. Nice and tight. Now, that's why I said on your show earlier, Jack, I'm going to ask you again, I think the midfield is absolutely key to us getting anything out of this game.
Yeah. And the thing is, you've only got one technical midfielder, but he's not even fit. We done that against him a couple of 7 months ago in the final. We didn't let them play. Like, obviously, Ancelotti, probably you could say it played into his account. He knew exactly what Liverpool would do. But I think that night, they had the odd 1 or 2 attacks where they got in. But our back line, as we know, Ebio was a man on a mission on his own. He allowed Trent and Robbo to go up the pitch, as wild as it was, and obviously it played into them scoring on the counter. But like, we stopped them from having the ball. I know it sounds simple, but if you can be a lot more composed on the ball and what you're doing with it, first and foremost, you'll keep on finding a red shirt, focus on ourselves, and it goes back to what I said before, not necessarily playing long balls or something, but making players do, like Modric, they don't like going backwards. Their game's all about going forward. So if you can get their head on a swivel and try and commit that extra midfielder, if you're committing the centre half as well, overlapping runs, then it's all about making those decisive movements early on and more. We need, first and foremost, boys, as well on Wednesday, it's just players taking risks. We haven't been taking that many risks this season. And what Liverpool being so successful in recent times is risk-taking. That's what Liverpool and City have done best in the last couple of seasons.
We're playing with a bit of fear, aren't we?
Yeah. I think the fear goes out the window Wednesday, and my take on it would be we're not expected to get out now of this game, guys. We're basically going into this game on a clean slate to say, listen, we'll do something, we'll try something different, we'll go all out. If we go out, we're expected to go out. If we get through this and get something out of this, wow, we're bleeding heroes type of thing, statue level, you know what I mean? So I think that way Liverpool actually have a lot of stuff up. You know, Jack, there's not a huge amount of pressure going into it because 95% of the people think we're not going to get out of it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. It's what it's all about. Me, you, Spider, I think all of us. I tell you what, it's what that signals to the rest of Europe as well, though, fellas. If we could do that, then Liverpool become the team to beat in this competition for me. I know everyone goes on about City every year, but of course the quality. Haaland, that's the only reason he brought Erling in really is to win the Champions League. And
I still don't understand why people go on about City. As much money as that, like I'd fancy Napoli over City. You know, that's the kind of way. But I just think they're much better side.
City aren't even firing like they were in previous seasons either. You know what I mean?
I don't think they'll do
it.
I don't think so, and they just don't have it in Europe. They haven't. But us, Real Madrid, we would be one of the favourites definitely. But I don't know. I just don't think I'd fear Napoli before I'd fear City. To be honest with you, in this time.
Eamon saying here, Jack, did you see us against the bottom league team, Bournemouth? I have no hope in Madrid, none. But the only thing I would say about that, Eamon, is, I mean, when we went into that United game, about 2 weeks before that game, we were in fucking shit show. We were an absolute shit show. And I was worried about that United game. But I did say we will be up for the United game. For the fact that it's Anfield, the crowd, and it's against your biggest rival. And we were coming into it with just a little bit of turn around the corner. I knew we'd beat United. I didn't think we'd win 7-0, of course. But who knows what happens Wednesday night? Who knows? Someone knows. Will they tell me? It could be unbelievable. It could be unbelievable.
Hopefully we paid off the ref. Bit of Premier League money going his way if he wants. We know the club across Madrid or across in the Catalonia, they like to pay off refs. Same with Perez.
Careful now, Jack. You're going to get copyrighted.
What is it? What is it? Allegedly. Yeah, it sounds.
Allegedly.
I'm lawyered up. Allegedly. There we go.
It's listener on the phone. No, you're
right. But yeah, it's the thing. No lads as well in chat. Liverpool. It's still no Liverpool DNA thing, but I suppose it doesn't get any bigger in Real Madrid, as we know. But Bournemouth had a game plan. They'd sit behind the ball and look to counter-attack us. Madrid will come at us, even if they are 3-5. Well, they've scored 5 goals in the first. Like, they're not a team to, like an Atletico Madrid or a prime Burnley, Sean Dyche, sit behind the ball, have 20% of possession. That's hopefully what will play into Liverpool's hands. Maybe even if Real Madrid do score and they try and if they potentially go for the kill and it leaves space in behind, then game on. We could be, but I 100% agree with where Eamon's coming from. But there's always that possibility. But football's a very funny game. It can be hinged on a smallest of margins, as we know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, that's why we love football. I mean, there's not many leagues in the world where you have a top team like Liverpool who beat Man United 7-0 and go to another ground and, you know, a blustery, windy ground on Saturday lunchtime and get beaten 1-0 by the bottom league team. And I don't think Bournemouth had ever beaten us in the league. I mean, back in 1906, we're getting all these terrible.
No, it was 4-3. When we had the green jersey, it was 4-3. With remember Origi scored from that weird angle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was, and we were like 2-0 up or something. They came back and beat us 4-3 the last act.
That was another quirky. That was another
quirky. Yeah, so it's just weird. They've had a couple of results against us, but that's about, you know, it's once every 5-6 years with these lads.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I just think, guys, look, nothing's over till, you know, it's not over until it's over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've got to have the right attitude, though. We've got to have the right game plan. We've got to be 100% at it. The team's got to be at it. The midfield's got to be right. The front line have got to be clinical. Got to take their chances. Every bloody second half chance. They've got to take every chance. If they do that and they're on their game, we have a small chance. Then you're hoping Madrid don't play to their level, the crowd get on them, you know, something happens, an injury or whatever.
You can do that, Dave.
It's possible.
Like historically, the Bernabeu, when it's not gone well, even in previous under Medina,
the crowd get on top of them. Yeah.
It's probably one of the worst atmospheres. You only have to listen to like certain, even when Hazard's played, even they'd boo Ronaldo, like club legends, and I remember Raul getting booed as well. Remember when we beat them when we were playing with Yossi Benayoun? That that famous.
We had a great record against me. We beat them 5-0 at Anfield. Do you remember that game, Gerard?
Yeah, it was 1-0 away and 4-0 at home, and it was the Gerrards.
Record we had up
ridiculous.
until 2018.
Yeah, it's the last 11 games. I think we haven't won one. It's been draws and losses, but that just up until that was the last one that we had, was that 4-0 and what you got. So, yeah, we need it. But like with their side, if we can just bypass their midfield all the time, like I said, if we have got players that are stepping in behind, the only thing I don't want to see, and this is what I'm worried about Henderson starting. I know you need an experienced midfielder, maybe, but he won't sit behind that defense, go beyond that defense or that midfield, sorry, and receive the ball and turn and try and put lads through on goal. Whereas a Harvey Elliott will, or a Naby Keita.
Do you know what we needed? We needed a Thiago in this game, lads.
Yeah, we
won't have him, but that's who I think would have been made for this game. The fact that he's not there, there's nothing we can do about it. Also, Luis Diaz would have been bleeding lovely even to have him on the bench, But lads, let's talk about the midfield. I said earlier on Jack's show, so check out Jack Mac LFC show earlier. Myself and Spider were on it. Link will be down in the description, and for Spider as well. So the midfield is key for me. I mean, I did say Fabinho, Henderson are nailed on. I just think they are. I mean, we haven't got much more in there. They're going to be nailed on. The question is the third one. I did mention Bobby maybe is a front four, basically, you know, a pivot and just go for it. That could happen with 20 to go if you've nothing else, you know, that type of thing. But starting off, you probably keep it tight. See where you are at half time type of thing. A lot of people are shouting, you guys are saying Elliott or young Biasetic in midfield. Or even mention Milner maybe.
Would you put Gakpo there and drop Bobby in the middle with Nunez and Salah?
But play that creative attacking midfield with them.
Yeah,
that would blow Madrid open. They wouldn't know what to bleed and do. So maybe we need to do something unorthodox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get an extra attacker on there. I know we spoke about Madrid bypassing our midfield, but we need
you literally have to cover Vinicius Jr. and then attack mostly on the left. You know, and that opens Salah up as well, because they're not always going up to Salah. Salah's great when he's coming in and receiving the ball at the end. We know how good he can be when it's at his feet in the box, but he needs to get in the box and receive the ball to get that kind of dancey kind of game going. But if we put Gakpo just a little higher on that left hand side of that midfield and just have Henderson and Fab in there covering, and then covering Trent as well at the same time, then you could easily use Gakpo as just a free role, just moving into the midfield back and forth, and then, you know, pivoting off of Henderson and then sometimes Nunez and Bobby. But I think Bobby just holding up the ball up front and releasing space for Gakpo could get him a couple of goals.
You know, I mean, it's going to be. I think he might go unorthodox because he's been far too predictable in lineups.
Yeah.
Melo, imagine Melo plays and gets man of the match. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Doug, in the house. It's never over till the fat lady sings. Doug, I was going to say that, but you can't mention the word fat anymore. Elliot, at the start.
It's all right. You were just describing me, David. Sound.
Congratulations to Ireland, by the way. They've just smashed England to win the Grand Slam, which I'm hoping and dreaming of. Paddy's weekend, of course, in Ireland. St. Patrick's Day on Friday. It's going to be a crazy weekend. I'm off Friday, I'm sure. Spider's in Munich anyway.
I'm in Munich. I'm playing that day. Yeah. So I think we're playing just after the match.
Do you know what? That's going to be a tough game. England will not want Ireland to win the Grand Slam. I know they have a bad record at Dublin and all that. And Ireland have a few injuries. That's the only issue I have. But we should have enough to beat England because we're fucking world's number one.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
You just know Klopp will start Milner. I did mention Milner in Jack's show. And I have a feeling, I have a little sneaky Milli Vanilli that Milner will be on the Ribena in midfield, guys. I know you don't maybe like to hear it or whatever. I just think it's going to be an unorthodox look at the 11 at, say, 7 or 7:15 on Wednesday night. You guys are going to be tweeting and going, what's Klopp doing here? You know that type of thing?
I'd like us, it's not going to happen. I'd like us to go 3 centre halves. Put the fullbacks as like left mid and right mid as like
a 3-5, like a 3-5-2.
Yeah, just play 3 centre halves. That it's very risky, and we've seen teams. Remember Roma coming to Anfield all those years ago, and we put on like 6 or 7 past Ali in that game. It requires your centre halves to very much go man for man. So the right centre half would go with obviously Vinny, someone marks Benzema, and then someone marks obviously Valverde. But it would free up a lot more space. I tell you what, it'd be interesting to see how Ancelotti would combat that. I know he's used to playing a 3. Obviously, as AC Milan side all those years ago, so it's not like he'd not know how to deal with that threat in terms of formation wise. But just try and do something different. Even I know me and Kev had a discussion, didn't we? I think all of us have had a discussion about Gomez, but it's whether you can trust Gomez for another 90 minutes. I don't think we can. Again, if he played in that team, I think they'd very much identify and be like rubbing their hands.
I think he keeps the back four and Alisson as is. I mean, Konate's been very good. Van Dijk, listen, Van Dijk is world class. He hasn't been the same since he came back from that injury. I mean, there was a chance he might not even ever come back from that injury. Let's be real, guys. But he
needs a full summer of just relaxing, doesn't he? He needs a summer because we haven't had it. We had a 3-week turnover from last season to this season. Then he's playing straight away, and that's after a season that he's back after a massive injury out for a year, and then he's going to the World Cup. Then he's coming back. He's going to have fatigue issues. He's not going to have the burst of pace that he had 2 or 3 years ago. Whether he ever gets it back, I don't know, but I think it's possible if he just gets that proper break in the summer, and we have a proper.
See, the World Cup and everything, Spider. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
World Cup with Holland. Hakpo did as well. I mean, and as well, people always forget, a week or two before the bleeding World Cup, we lost Jota and Diaz within a few weeks of each other. We lost Jota and Diaz. You know, they were fucking huge. We need to sit on them, get rid of the zonal marking, can't give them any room. We need to get the bleeding press back, but it's a big pitch, that Bernabeu.
I said that about Fabinho.
What?
Bang Fabinho and Modric and just don't even get the ball, and leave the rest of the lads free form. I don't mind about that. As long as I don't see one midfielder controlling that game, I'd rather see Fabinho just step in. Every time he knows that he's let Modric have a little bit of space and he just steps into him, Modric is always going to take that step back to control the area, and he's always going to look for that pass out. But if he can step in there early and like give the other fella the room to pass the ball to Modric and then step in all the time, that's just man mark him, just stay on him, and he'll be okay. He's done it against Barcelona with Messi, so do it to Modric. It can be done, but I don't mind the zonal marking in the defense as long as it's not Gomez in the zonal marking, because he won't step out. But the other lads, if they see that the ball is going to come into their area, they will step out and head it.
So Benzema's at the front post. We should have marked him.
Klopp said Carlos probably know the game is done. I think that's psychology. That's psychology. The only problem is, Jack, it's not one goal we need or just to win there, which would be hard in itself. We're basically 3-0 down. It's 5-2. We're 3-0 down, basically, because away goals don't count. We're actually 3-0 down, basically. That's what we kicked the game off after 1 minute. We're 3-0 down. That's what it is. As soon as you touch that ball, we're 3-0 down. Right, we're 3-0 down. How do we get 3 goals back? That's basically what we should be thinking about. We're 3-0 down. An AC Milan job here. We were 3-0 down at half time against a really good AC Milan. People forget how good that AC Milan team were. They were that was an unbelievable AC Milan team. One of the best AC Milan teams ever. One of the top 3, that team we played. And we hadn't got one of the top 3 Liverpool teams. We just did not. We didn't. And we did it. So who knows? Who knows? We could get a 3-0. Probably bring it to extra time penalties. Who knows?
It's going to be magical, boys. But as I said, big up, Mick. How you doing, lad?
Mick Moran, Copy Podcast in the house. How you, Mick? Hope you're well, bro.
Big up, mate. And I think it's going to be I don't know if we've mentioned it, but the substitutions are going to be key, especially as we've alluded to tonight. Obviously, Liverpool playing spells, but especially it's the in-game management of like the 90 plus minutes is going to be very key. If we can, as we said, ideally on my show, we can get 2-3 goals. No, it's as easy as saying, not as easy as saying that, but it's about what happens when we do, if we are to get 2 goals. Do we sit back, try and soak up a bit of pressure? But I think
that's game management, Jack. We haven't had game management.
Or do we go for the juggler?
Have game management.
Yeah, or do we go for the juggler? Because worst thing is, say we get 2 goals, do what we do in the first, like, and concede again. It's gonna be disappointing, really, in all honesty. But it's that's probably the most intriguing aspect, really, come Wednesday night, what we do in terms of that, mate.
Statman Stubbs is in. How are you, bro? Big up, boys. How are you doing? Oh, Steve. All good, my friend. There is the Copy Podcast channel. Put Statmans in there as well. Give them a sub. Show them your love. Salah is in. Mo, I want a big game from you Wednesday night, baby. I want a big game from hat-trick from Mo Salah Wednesday night. Miracles will happen tomorrow. Liverpool win. Salah, he's actually on the plane texting us. He's watching us live. Mahala.
Big up, Mo.
Baby. Big up, Mo. and there's Statman Stubbs channel there as well. So we're looking forward to it. And as I said, we're not under really much pressure coming into it. It's a weird one, isn't it? And in the Champions League, we usually are the tight games, and but this game, there's no real fucking pressure.
Nothing to lose.
We're really expected to lose,
Yeah, nothing to lose. Just go for it. If we got 2 early goals, what's going to happen? I mean, the difference that happened the last, and this is what I was saying at the last, the difference that happened the last time is that Joe Gomez made multiple mistakes and allowed them to score the free kicks, not stepping out to the player, stepping into the player when Vinicius was scoring that first worldie, the bended one. He didn't step out. He just let him go past him too easily. That's not going to happen with Konate. So Konate will step into him, he'll bully him, he'll put his body in front of it if he has to. He won't just kind of sidestep him to the side or whatever, that's what he'll do. So it's not happening. If we go 2-0 up against Real Madrid, they might be able to score one, but I think we can go on and still get another couple in the second half. It's just, that's how we could have won that game 5-0 on that night if it wasn't for those mistakes and dropping the head from our team. It's not that it wasn't a Modric masterclass. It wasn't that we dropped our heads severely because of what happened in those situations, and we didn't even turn up in the midfield. Then Modric just had so much space in the midfield because our lads just stopped pressing, and that's it, because they're just like, oh no, what's going on here, and they just didn't have it in them to do it. So for me, we get the 2 early goals with Ibu Konate and Van Dijk in there. I think we'll be a lot more sure to go into the second half and hopefully just get the level up goal. We'll see. We just have to stop them scoring, lads, really.
Yeah. Cup On Podcast is in own for the Cup On Podcast. Show him some love. Give him a sub. Absolute legends. Popo is in. How are you, bro? Hopefully you are well. Look, guys, I'm looking forward to it. As I say, the pressure's sort of off, really, isn't it? I mean, you can sort of go into it looking forward to what team he plays, who have we got. Will he go on a mad one? Will he go on as usual where he keeps it tight and says, look, let's just see how it is? I don't think he can afford to do that. Let's just see how it is. You're 3-0. As I said, you're 3-0 down. So as soon as you touch that ball, the referee blows his whistle, you're basically 3-0 down because you're 5-2. You're chasing 3 goals. He's had a few days to think about it. We've had a really bad result against Bournemouth, which I was hoping we get something from to bring confidence into this game. You don't want to be coming off, something like that. We've had it too many times this season, but you can also say the other way around. We want to show something. We want to show some heart after that. Such a bad performance, and can we give something more type of thing? And maybe even in Klopp's mind, he might make 1 or 2 changes for people that didn't turn up on Saturday. So it's going to be really interesting. Loads of comments still coming in here. Statman Stubbs, away goals don't count. So if you have nothing to lose, maybe as well as go out fighting. If we score first, they may collapse. Chelsea scored 3 last season at the Bernabeu. Yep, we all remember that one. That was an absolutely crazy, crazy game. It's possible. It is possible. It's just Liverpool's defense. They don't just fill me with, a 0 with no goals and 90 plus minutes at the Bernabeu. That's the problem I have. If they were tighter and not giving silly, stupid goals away, which they have been doing all season, lads. They've been bleeding doing it all season. Even in the United game, United had 2 chances when it was 0-0. That one where the ball came into Rashford, he didn't control it, or he tried to hit it first time. He was straight through there. He was only 15 yards out in the centre of the goal. He got the ball. Yeah. How he got the ball there? So it's about being lucky, clinical, tight, and miracle whip, baby. Wednesday night. That's what we need. We need a miracle and everyone to turn up. I'm not saying it's impossible. Let's see what happens, guys. But what else have you guys? Look, I'm going for Liverpool win. I'm going to stick my head on a platter.
Yeah.
I don't think we go. I can't see us fucking winning 4-0 or anything like that. I want a performance from the Reds if we don't go through. Obviously, I hope we go through, even on penalties. Win 3-0, go through on penalties. Something like that would sound more realistic than saying 4 or 5-0. But it's hope more than anything. But hope in your heart is part of the song, guys. So you just never know. You never know. And I've done videos before. If you want to look back at my YouTube channel, I did a video midweek when Liverpool were playing Barcelona and coming to Anfield. And I don't know whether you remember it, Jack. But I was walking down the street on my way to lunch. I think it was on the Thursday. And the match was on the Saturday night. And I was doing a video going, you never know, baby. We're 3-0 down, but there's always hope in your heart at Anfield. And what happened? 4-0, baby. So you just never know. You never know. We don't throw in towels here, but it's going to be tough. So, guys, final statements, closing statements. Jack, what do you think will happen Wednesday?
I'm not giving a score prediction because I don't really think there's...
You don't have to.
Yeah, because if anyone's been tuning in to be watch-alongs recently, last couple of weeks, every time I've predicted Liverpool win on the score prediction, we've got absolutely battered. I even went 1-0 against United, and then it went crazy. So, I'm just hoping, as you lads we've already spoke about tonight, the performance level, we get one even, and we don't go out in a win. In all honesty, we need to leave every last ounce of blood, sweat, and tears on that pitch on Wednesday night. And I think if we are to come, there's ways to lose. And if it's just another copy and paste job from the first job, and in a last couple of weeks ago, then I'll be very disappointed. But if we play to our full capacity, I think we've 100% got we've got every opportunity to come away with a good result.
The man with all the stats, Owen from the Cop On podcast. I love all your optimism, and yes, we have a tiny chance of going through. But look at our away form; it's much more likely we get a slapping. We owe them, though. One day we will beat them. Yes, we do owe them badly. I would love to owe them one big one on Wednesday night. But we know, look, the odds are against us going through. Let's be real here. Be realistic. The bookies, you want to look at that and you want them. We're 5-2 down. I don't think many teams have come back, other than, of course, the famous Reds from 3-0 results. We've done it a few times. We did it in 2005, 3-0 down at halftime against AC Milan. And we did it against Barcelona, 3-0 down, 4-0 at Anfield. It can be done, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Spider?
Yeah. I know it's a long shot to do it, but if there's any team that can do it, it's Liverpool. No matter what we were broken, they said we were down and out, we wouldn't get top 4 in 2020 after we just won the league in 2021, and with Nat Phillips and Reece in the back line, we ended up getting third. So I mean that can just tell you, when the team
Alisson scores the winner. Alisson scores a fourth goal on Wednesday night, the header.
That's it, and like I'm sitting there kind of going, can Liverpool do it? Away from home, it's been poor and whatever, but it's never been at this situation where we have absolutely nothing to lose. Like, we're already 3 goals down. The only thing we can do is just go at them and just like play long balls, take risks, do whatever you need to do. No matter what, you're already 3 goals down in the tie. Just go for it. Have a bit of fun. Go away, play at the Bernabeu. Most of them will never get the chance to play there properly in their careers. So this is your chance to go over there and get remembered there, and say that you do it. But at the end of the day, 3 goals is not much with our side when you think of it, because I mean, Nunes is capable of goal. Gakpo is scoring now freely. Salah can score when he wants to score. I wouldn't rule us out. Our only problem is just bypassing that midfield. If we can bypass that midfield and have fellas in behind it, stop playing through the midfield, play past it. Just get the ball beyond them. Don't let them get in the game. We were doing that early in that game, in the last game, and we were destroying them. The lads were picking up positions, and we were picking up lovely positions either side of the lads, and then the rest of them was a bit shit when Gomez got involved. But I can't keep giving out about him because, at the end of the day, I've always had time for Gomez, but, his time is kind of done, I think, with us really as a main centre-back. But Ibu Konate is in there, and him and Van Dijk are a much better partnership. And even though Van Dijk was a bit off the other day, Ibu covered him well. He covered Trent well. It's about time now that Van Dijk realises he had a bad game the other day, and Trent realised they have a bad game the other day. And when they get this kind of stick, they do tend to step up in the next game. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here. And, as I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Ibu scored the first goal, Gakpo and Nunes get involved. We just need to score 2 early enough in the game, and then we'll have Madrid sweating because we'll have a whole second half or, a good 25 minutes to score another third goal. And that'll have them worried. They'll get a bit more defensive then. Carlo, he might like his formation change, but he will. But that's sometimes his weakness as well, is that he will change a formation set up to go more defensive and just allow us to attack more, and that could be a problem for them. So we'll see. It's all about getting the early goals for us, really.
Yeah, we got to keep it tight and score first for defo. Jack, have you much more coming up this week? You're doing a watch along. I presume you're doing a watch along probably for the match here Wednesday.
Yeah, of course. We're doing one on Wednesday.
Sure. Of course.
It should be fun, regardless. Win, lose, odds are over. As we said on my show, mate, overs and chats, we always get behind the lads. Obviously, we'd like to go through, but if we can't, then sometimes, as much as football plays such an important point in all of our lives, really. But these lads have done us so proud, and hopefully they can do us proud once more come Wednesday night, mate. But yeah, I'll be having a live stream watch on Wednesday. And
Jack Mac LFC, link is down in the description, guys. Spider, you're obviously away in Munich on a world tour.
Yeah, German tour.
European
tour. Yeah, it's European. So yeah, there is a European tour, but it's in different spots over different months throughout this year, which is great. So yeah, no, I'm flying out in the morning. Well, early afternoon tomorrow into Holland. We're doing the setup there, and then we're flying off straight after that to Munich that night and getting in, and then getting ready for the gigs from Wednesday onwards. So yeah, that should be good crack. So I'm refusing to play while the game is on. I've already said that, because the good thing about Germany is that they don't play like 2-hour gigs. They play like 30 minutes and then they take a break for half an hour, and then they do that, and they don't play throughout the sports, and they split gigs and stuff, and that's the way they do it over there. So yeah, it should be good crack. So I might have time after my second half of a second set to pop on and do a post match with Jack or something, and just see, hopefully we're celebrating. Jack, how the hell did we just do that? And I'm in the middle of Germany, getting steamed off me tits.
One of those big, huge bucket points. Those big bucket points in Munich.
Yeah,
let's go, baby. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Guys, we leave it there. Look, we're not throwing in the towel here. Anything's possible with Liverpool Football Club. You know it. We know it. Let's do it. Wednesday night, Madrid, Liverpool. We're 5-2 down. We will see what happens. I want a performance from the Reds Wednesday night. I want the boys to come off that pitch proud. Whatever happens, we've got a break then, and then it's rock and roll to try to get top 4. Let's see what happens, guys. Get behind the team. Get behind the manager. Thanks for the chat. Jack Mac LFC and Spider, links will be down in the description. Give them a sub, show them some love, and let's hope Liverpool show us love and get a result, the result we all want to get into the quarterfinals Champions League on Wednesday night. Stay safe, talk soon. You'll never walk alone. Thanks, boys. Cheers.
Night.
Night.